Good morning, everyone. This is Miss Farah over here. Welcome back. I hope that you guys are doing fine. So let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday, I had a bit of situation, and I apologize for that. So basically, my electricity was gone since morning until like probably 2-ish. So even after our class yesterday, I still did not have any electricity, which sucks because my laptop do not have enough battery, and my cell phone, my mobile phone battery is gone because I keep on doing hotspot to do some work. So I apologize for canceling at a very last minute. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are having a lot of fun for having me canceling the class. So I hope that you guys had enough rest and also enough fun yesterday. Now let's continue with our lesson for today, and I'm hoping that you guys please watch this before you go to your before you go to our class on Thursday. I really need you guys to listen very carefully because there are a few activities that I would like you guys to prepare in advance before you go to our class on Thursday. Now let's get going. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 5. I know that a lot of you guys are excited because of the Chinese New Year, and we're going to have our mid-semester break next week, not this week, but next week. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are, your momentum is already in the mid-semester break. But before we go to the break, we still have to continue our lesson, and we still have to continue our studies. So let me remind you on the assessments for this UCC 1101. To be completely honest, guys, I am quite disappointed that none of you guys actually asked me about your test one. Now, the reason being said is because our first initial test one is scheduled this week, and nobody actually asked me if we're going to have the test this Thursday. None of you guys did. So I was quite disappointed to see that some of you guys are still not alert about your tests. All right, so we're going to talk more about test one in a bit and then have a look at the scheduled test two that will be in week 10. You have one reflective essay that is due in week 13, and then in the final week you have two assessments or two assignments that you have to give me. The first one will be on the written report, and the second one will be on oral presentation. Now, for this course, we do have a final exam, and the final exam will be announced to you on which date or which week. And then I think you guys will know, earlier than we all do, lecturers. So if you know, or if the exam center has notified you guys on the actual date and also time of your test, kindly please inform us so that we know. All right, so altogether it's 100%. Please, please, and please take notes on these dates. Now, because I don't think a lot of us are very much ready for your test one, and I think that before we go to the actual test itself, I would like to spare some time to prepare you guys for the test itself, and we're gonna do a bit of revision before you go to the test. So I've decided to postpone the test one after the mid-semester break. So it should be in week 6, right after your mid-semester break. All right, so that's good news for you guys, so that you do not have your first test is not this Thursday, rather it's going to be after the mid-semester break. Now, I want you guys to be using the time during the mid-semester break, if you have the time, during the night, for example, right after, you have your celebration with your family, please go and revise accordingly before you go for your first test. And then we're going to have a bit of revision before you go to your test, and then hopefully you'll be a bit more prepared to go for your test. All right. So I found this meme online, and I thought that was quite funny. Now, a lot of people, they do not study, they do not like to study, every day for a few minutes. That's like, no, no. But they like to study long hours straight one day before the exam because they think that the memory will be retained in their memory. in the brain. But please remember that that doesn't work in essays in English. So you need to get enough sleep in order for you to do the tests. And to be completely honest, when it comes to online testing, it's slightly easier, but we're gonna test you guys on critical thinking. So that will be hard. And that is also one of the reasons why I would like to have the revision class first before you go to your exam and testing. And another thing is because when it comes to online testing, a lot of students they tend to copy online and it's so rampant, like it's everywhere. Everybody thinks that online testing is so easy. You can simply just copy and find things online. But I want to ensure you guys not to do that because last semester there was a student who actually failed this UCC1101 because he copied. All right, so please remember and please make sure not to do that. I think I reminded you guys on this last week where I commented on your work on Blackboard. Okay, so we're gonna learn more about how to paraphrase and how to summarize and also how to actually refer to an online sources and trying to not to copy word by word. That would be your challenge for online testing. So we're going to talk more about that in our class next week before you go for your actual test. Right. Now, I want to remind you guys on your grading scales. So, if you want to pass this course, please get more than 50. That is quite okay. But if you guys are aiming to get an A, I mean like the A group, A minus is only 75. All right, so that is quite plausible. That is quite possible if you say it. So try and get higher grades so that it can help you to get higher CGPA and also higher GPA and also CGPA eventually. All right. So I'm hoping that you guys will do your best for this course. And before we start with your first assignment, sorry, first assessment that will be on your first test, I want this to be a very good one for you guys. So please do your best in your first assessment. All right. Now, I also would like to make a special announcement. I want you guys to prepare this before you go to our class on Thursday, this 11th of February. So we are going to have a class that will be quite late in the afternoon on Thursday. What I want you guys to prepare is I want you guys to be preparing a short speech. Yes, each one of you guys here. Okay, you guys have to prepare a short speech. Now, this speech should not be too long. Okay, it's just between 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm giving you guys a couple days to prepare for it. What do you have to talk about? What I want to know is that you have to share with your friends, your classmates, on learning how to learning a new skill during this pandemic, be it that you are about to learn it or if you have learned it, because as we all know, with the current pandemic and the everything that's going on with the world today, we are all forced to be indoors, we're all forced to be at home, so we tend to find new things for us to learn, be it learning a new language using your internet, or is it learning how to make your own coffee, even if it's not Dalgona coffee because it's too tiring to whip it, or it could be playing a new instrument like you order guitar online, or it could be literally anything else. So what I want you guys to do is that I want you guys to be sharing with me a new skill that you have learned during this pandemic. You may try to provide or try to prepare a short presentation if you would like to. You can have some pictures, or if you do not have that, I want you guys to open your camera and show me, Miss Farah, this is my new guitar that I bought on Shopee or Lazada. This is something that I have done this morning. I made my own breakfast, so that will be a new skill for me because normally my maid will make it for me. All right, so I want it to be a new learning experience for you guys, and I'm really looking forward to listening to new skill that you guys have developed over this quarantine period. All right, so one person you can talk to almost 3 minutes. I'm gonna prepare a wheel spinner where the spinner or the wheel will be choosing who will be presenting for all of us. So I want you guys all to present because this is a very small classroom. We all have the time for everyone to present. Okay, so you all have to get ready. You all have to present, basically. All right. So I'm really looking forward to your presentation. Please remember to prepare it. I'm going to make an announcement to prepare or to remind you guys on this. Okay? So let's first of all, let's please try and recap on what we have learned last week. Right. I want you guys to pause this video. Okay? Please try and pause this video, and I want you guys to try and take out a piece of paper, or if you have a book in front of you, try and answer these two questions only. Okay, I only want you guys to answer these two questions. If possible, avoid looking back again on the notes that you guys have written before, or try not to look back again on the slides that I have shared with you guys last week. I want this to come from you yourself. So we want to see how much you actually remember on these things. Okay. So the first question for you guys to answer is, what is illustrative essay? Because it sounds like it's a very special type of essay, and I think I have briefed you guys a very special component about illustrative essay. We're going to talk more about that in a bit. And then, can you try and give me some possible topics or possible examples of topic that we can use when we want to have an illustrative essay? All right, so please pause this video. Okay, pause this video for 1 minute and then try and answer it. It could be wrong, it could be right. It's okay because this is what your brain can remember. So try and do this by yourself. All right, try to do that, guys. Have you guys done it? All good? Okay, so I'm hoping that you have written down the answers to these questions. These are super easy questions that I derived very directly from what we have learned last week. Now let's see, let's go back and recap again, refresh our mind on what we have learned before. So last week we talked about illustrative essay. Basically, when it comes to illustrative essay, you as a writer, okay, you have to explain on an idea. Excuse me. You have to explain on an idea or a situation or a concept. Now, very crucially, when explaining on the idea, the situation, or the concept itself, you have to remember that you need to use examples. All right, so that is why we call it as illustrative. Okay, in some educators or in some systems or in some teachers, excuse me, they also call illustrative essay as an explanation or expository essay. So I think some of your English teachers might have called illustrative essay as expository essay. So that could also mean the same thing, and it could have variety of terminologies or words to describe the same thing. Now, I also gave you guys some sample or topics about illustrative essay. The first one would be advantages of getting a driver's license, and secondly, Facebook enhances family members' relationship. So basically, you have to explain on the idea or the concept of, how Facebook actually enhance, family members' relationship. So basically, by using examples, you have to show us that Facebook, the social media site, in fact, is enhancing the family members' relationship. All right, so please remember when it comes to illustrative essay, you have to remember very carefully that the question will determine to you your topic and your position. So in comparison to argumentative essay, where you can have your own view, you can have your own personal opinion, and you have to argue based on what you believe in. Okay, illustrative essay, on the other hand, is different. Even if you do not believe that Facebook, enhance family members relationship, you don't believe in that at all, you think that Facebook, on the in contrary, it doesn't really enhance family members relationship. Even worse, it makes your family members relationship worse. Okay, even if you have your own personal opinion about the topic, you still have to argue based on what is given to you. All right, so you still have to make sure that in your essay you're talking about advantages of getting a driver's license, even if you personally do not have one, even if you personally don't think it's a priority, and if you think that it's not actually a very good idea to get a driver's license. Okay, regardless of your opinion, when it comes to illustrative essay, you still have to write it as if you agree to it. All right, so that is something that you have to remember. Now, what I have discussed earlier, I'm talking about the differences between illustrative essay and also argumentative essay. Now, in this course, we shall be talking about different types of essays, and it's important for you to know and notice the differences between these types of essays so that when you're actually writing, you follow the format and you follow the organization so that you can get higher marks. Okay? Now let's move into the structure of illustrative essay. Now I want you guys to pause this video again. This is something that I have tested you guys on, if you remember. Now we talk about the conventional way of writing essays. It's almost similar, but in illustrative essay there will be something that is special. It's the same, but it's something special. But before that, can you try and tell me, pause this video, write down your answers. This will be just on you. I wouldn't be able to check your answers. Your friends wouldn't be able to check your answers. I'm not going to ask you guys to prove to me and give it to me in the WhatsApp group. There's nothing that will, do that. We're not going to do that. But I need you guys to be frank and to be honest with yourself and give me the structure of illustrative essay. All right, pause this video and try to do this by yourself. Do it. All right. So this is actually basically the same thing that goes into the conventional academic essay writing, where we have only 5 different paragraphs. Okay, in illustrative essay we only have 5 different paragraphs. So if illustrative essay were to come out in your test 1 or final exam or test 2, please remember that you have to write 5 different paragraphs. So what's important about this? Okay, I'm not going to touch into detail of each one of these because it's redundant. I have done that. If you still do not know how to write a hook or building sentence or TC statement, please go back again on previous recordings and also look at my slides so that you will be able to understand more. Now, if you wish to have a special consultation with me, one-to-one, please email me and I'm more than happy to schedule one for you guys. Right. So I'm saying to you guys before that when it comes to illustrative essay, we have a special component that differentiate between illustrative essay with another different type of essay. That will be in here, in the supporting details, which is why last week we spent some time, focusing on supporting detail because supporting detail is super important. Now, I have read and provided feedback for your exercise on supporting details. And some of you guys are still struggling. So if you think that if you read my comments and you feel like you would like to improve more, please schedule an appointment with me. I'm going to run through with you guys again from zero and we're going to try and do this with you. Okay, so if you wish to have a special consultation with me, all you have to do is just email me and ask for it. Awesome. Right. So when it comes to illustrative essay, we focus very much on the supporting details. Now, what do we have to write in the supporting details for all body paragraphs in illustrative essay? Very good. Correct. So we have to provide examples, illustration. Remember, this is illustrative essay. Now, we talk about there are different types of sorry, there are different types of examples. It could be a short one, it could be a long one. Okay, so sometimes you want to put two simple but interrelated examples, or it could be it could have one, longer longer example, but in the example itself it has so much details, and almost like a narration to something, so it's also very good there as well. Okay, so all you have to do is look at that and see which one is the most appropriate one for you. Okay, so when it comes to illustrative essay, we're looking at the quality of your supporting detail. So please make sure that you know how to do supporting details. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do today, all right. So what we are to do today is that I'm gonna introduce you guys to a new type of essay that is called process essay. Now, for process essay, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, let's firstly understand what is process essay. Sorry, got an email. So, process essay describes a procedure. It gives a step-by-step explanation of a process that leads to an expected or planned outcome. So basically, let's firstly remember and look back on the definition itself. So when we talk about process essay, it involves a procedure. Okay, it involves a step-by-step explanation of the process itself. And most importantly, it has to lead to an expected or a planned outcome. Now, what does it mean? It means that if you were to write a process essay and I read it, okay, if I follow all of the steps, I will have the same or relatively the same outcome as someone else who actually followed the same manual or the same essay, the same thing that after reading your essay. So what I'm saying is that if I read a process essay about making a cheesecake, okay, at the end of the day, I'm hoping that I will be able to get a cheesecake, not a hot dog, not a burger, not something else. Okay, so it needs to lead to an expected or planned outcome. Now there could be some, factors. For example, you missing out some eggs and stuff, but that is because if you do not follow exactly what the steps mentioned. All right, so if you follow what the steps mention, we are expecting to have the same outcome. I want to have cheesecake. If you follow it, you're gonna you need to be able to get a cheesecake. Everybody here needs to get a cheesecake if they follow the steps or the essays that you have mentioned. Okay, so that will be on process essay. Now, a few pointers that you have to remember when writing process essay. Number one is that the points have to be presented in chronological order. Okay, what does it mean by chronological order? It has to be in order. Okay, first step, second step, third step. You're gonna have like the third step first, and then the fourth step, and then the first step. All right, so it has to be presented in a chronological order. Now, again, as I mentioned, if the steps are being followed exactly the same way, we are expecting to get the same outcome at the end of the day. Okay. Number three, the crucial characteristic of a process essay is actually the use of transitions. Okay, when using transitions, we're looking at firstly, secondly, next, third, da, 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 da. So those are transitions which I want to see in your process essay. Now, what I have done in your special folder on Blackboard itself, okay, I have created some links to grammar, and you can do it by yourself. And another one is for me, I have created a folder of sample of essays, sample of essay outlines, and also one, one special document. I think it was a PDF that only talks about transitions, transitional words. Please refer back to that if you want to know what are some of examples of transitions. Okay, if you want to spice up your essay and you want to learn more, go and find the um, what do you call that? Transition words. Now, what am I talking about? Let me try and have a look at it. Okay, so first of all, open Blackboard. Okay, let me just show you guys the way. Yeah, here. Right. So you guys are technical English. So now go to content. Excuse me. Now this folder over here basically has all of the grammar exercises that I mentioned to you guys earlier. So here, click on here. Okay, you'll be able to see all of the grammar points. Now again, I'm not gonna monitor you guys if you have done this or not. Okay, so I want you guys to go ahead and explore this by yourself. If you really want to improve on your English, please click on this. Okay, it's basically a link to exercises, grammar exercises, if you wish to improve um, on your writing. Now, sometimes when I comment on your writing, I would say improve on preposition or improve on verb tenses, improve on punctuations. So please go back again on these websites by clicking on the link over here. Or sometimes I say improve on your sentence structure. Or I think you have some issues with your sentence structure. So if that was my comment in your writing, please click on here so that you'll be able to improve on that. Okay, so again, I'm not going to check this. I'm not going to ask everybody, have you guys done this? This will be on you guys. If you want to improve your English, I have given you the way. Please do it. Okay, so this is not compulsory, definitely not compulsory, but it will greatly help you in your writing. So another folder that I have created over here provides you with a lot of sample essays. Now, later we shall be, yes, so we have learned a couple essays like illustrative essay, and then we are going to learn about cause and effect essay. Again, there are not all different types of essays that I put up over here because, okay, the reason being said is because I don't want you guys to look at my, sample and say this is the only correct way of doing this. Okay, sample is just samples to guide you on writing, but it does not necessarily have to be the actual way of doing it. I have some students, they memorize samples, which is quite silly because you're not supposed to memorize things. When it comes to language, it has to come from your skill, your own style as a writer, and that is what my aim in this course, actually to help you to develop as a writer. Now, some of you guys, based on your writing, I can see that you have very good, excellent, you have a lot of potential, you have basic English grammar that I don't have to worry about. But what you're lacking is organization. Okay, so why is organization so important? Because when people reading your essay, again, this is not SPM essay where you write in your English essay, people want to know about the story that you write. Okay, this is academic writing and this is even technical writing. People want to go things very straightforwardly. That is why the first sentence of a main body paragraph is immediately topic sentence. A lot of students, even though you have very good English and applaud you for that, they tend to write something that is very draggy. In this early technology, in the advanced technological, era with this, that is not a topic sentence. Okay, so I need to guide you to, you know, improve and to scaffold you onto what you guys already have, because some of you guys have really, really good English, and this is my role here to basically just guide you when you want to write academic writings. Okay, not just in degree level, but if you want to go for postgraduate where you have to write your own theses and publish your papers, these are the skills that you're going to need for academic writing. All right, So that is about a transition. I also included a special um, slides on transition. Where is it? It's supposed to be here. I forgot. So I'm gonna upload a new item over there that is about transitions only. Please go and read it and have a look at those transitions. Now, one more characteristic of a process essay that could be a challenge is actually to avoid writing using personal pronoun. Okay, like you, me, we, and I. Now, there are ways for you not to use personal pronoun, that is using a more generic term like one. Okay, one can blah 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 blah. So I'm going to show you guys more on how to avoid using personal pronoun in a bit. Okay, so in order for you to avoid using personal pronoun, you can use a more generic terms or generic words like an individual or one. Let's have a look at example over here. To avoid overspending, one can download budgeting apps such as Meet, You Need a Budget, and Wally to track on spending, full stop. So here, okay, instead of saying to avoid overspending, you can download. Okay, a lot of students they tend to do this in their in their process essay. Do not do that. To avoid overspending, you can download budgeting apps. Okay, don't do that. Avoid doing that. You have to replace it with words like one and individual, blah blah blah. All right. Okay, so there are two types of essay. The first one is what we call as instructional process essay, and the second one is informational process essay. For instructional process essay, it's basically aimed to explain on how to do something. Now, an example of topics that you can write for this would be how to find a new boyfriend or how to find a new girlfriend. So when writing this type of essay, you are explaining on how to do something. Okay. Or another example would be how to make sandwiches. Okay. Another type of essay is what we call as informational process essay. And when we want to do informational process essay, the aim is to inform on how something works. Okay, a sample of topics would be how a movie is produced and how plants convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. Now, one thing that you have to do is that in informational process essay, you need to have a lot of information and content knowledge when you want to do informational process essay. You look at the topic, it has to be something that you know and familiar about. That is how you do informational process essay. Okay? Now, this is basically the outline of process essay, similar to illustrative essay. Okay, we still have to write 5 different paragraphs. We need to have introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3, and also concluding paragraph. All right, so we have 5 different paragraphs and it still followed the same flow in a way that in your introduction you will need a hook, a transition, and also thesis statement. However, when it comes to process essay, the most crucial part would be on your topic sentence and also your concluding statement in your body paragraphs. I'm going to talk more about it in our class on Thursday. Okay, so I'm going to stop our class now. I want you guys to remember again that you have to prepare for your presentation this Thursday. I'm going to make an announcement for it. Please be prepared before you go to my class on Thursday. All right, so I hope that you guys have a wonderful day today. Thank you so much, and I see you guys on Thursday. Bye bye.